Hello everyone, welcome once again to my YouTube channel. My name is Romeo and it has always been about data analysis. It has taken me a while to drop a video after I think the 6 sets of videos I have dropped. There's been a lot that has been going on at the background for me, and therefore my apologies that I have delayed in sharing these videos. But I am back on seat, I'm back on track. We're going to be releasing these videos for us to come back to learning the tools that we use for data analysis. So today, what I want to do today is a bit special. I want us to dive into some case study, just a short case study for us to try, and it's more like a refresher course to utilize what we have studied before and see how we can work with the sample data. It's a very small sample data and we're going to be working in it. But before we jump in, I just want to say, if you are new on the channel, welcome. We are going to be learning a lot on this channel, and I'll be pleased to have you join us in the journey as we learn about data analysis. We are learning the tools, which is Excel, Power BI. We'll be learning SQL for querying the data that we have, and then we'll also be learning how to use Python to do that. It's going to be fun because the idea is to make sure that we get a grasp of the foundation, the basics of how we use these tools, and then we build up on that and upskill in order to understand what it means by manipulating and driving insight out of data. So you are welcome to the channel. Please do not forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and then for all who have already subscribed to the channel, please make sure that you like this video, you give it a thumbs up, and then you share it to your friends and family and every single person who is interested in learning about data analysis. Okay, so without much ado, so I've timed myself to make sure that we are in line with this project and then go beyond that. So let me fire up my Excel sheet, and this particular data we're going to be working on is going to be 2 parts. This is the first one. The second part I'll do it in a separate video, and what we are going to be doing this one is we are going to be basically manipulating the data here, adding a few additions, subtractions, all of that to this data, and then in the second section we are going to be applying a style. So we are going to be applying colors and making sure that this looks beautiful on our Excel sheets. Okay, so let's begin. So this data was taken from a public data set, and what we are going to be doing is we are going to be figuring out whether we have, we're going to be calculating some discount, subtotals and totals. So it's basic stuff, but then it's, as we do this, just keep a grasp of the concepts and the things that we are doing. Okay, we may be using some functions here and there to help us do it faster, and then I'll also duplicate these data sets perhaps for the next one where we apply our styles, which is our colors, to make sure that this stands out beautifully. Okay, so when you look at this data set, you realize that this is a data for a shop called the Poke Mart. Okay, and on column A is our items. So we have a poke ball, we have a great ball, we have ultra ball, potion, super potion, hyper potion, antidote. Okay, and then we have more like the cost price of these items. So let me just change this here to cost price. Okay, so basically the cost price will be as a business, how much did you go and buy the pokeball? Okay, and then we are going to give ourselves we're going to be adding 50 Ghana cedis or 50 to all of the values there to calculate our price at which we are selling it. So if I went to buy this in the market, okay, and then I bring it to my shop and I now want to sell it to somebody, I need to make an interest on it. Okay, so think in that manner as we touch on this data. So this column now is called the selling price. Okay, and then the shop cart will represent, so for example, somebody walked into the shop, how many of poke balls did the person take, and then you will calculate the number against the selling price, and then to give the person how much cost or how much everything the person is buying or has bought costs, and then we will calculate the subtotal. We'll do a discount, and then we will get the total amount the person is supposed to pay. Okay, so like I said, first I said we're going to be adding 50 to all of this, so we want to make a profit of 50. Okay, whether it is in dollars or cedis, when we are done we'll do that change. Okay, so we want to add, so for now it's going to be, let's say, 50 cedis. So we're going to be adding 50 cedis to each and every item that we have here. So first and foremost, I type my 50 here. Okay, I'm just putting it on the side. Okay, and if you remember, what I want to do is I want to make sure that every single cost price here is being added to the profit. So I want a profit of 50. Let me just call that place profit. So the profit amount is 50 on each of them. Okay, so which it means that our selling price for Pokeball is going to be the cost price plus 50. So that means that we are now selling it at what, 250 cedis or $250, whichever currency you want to use, but I want to stick with cedis for now. Okay, so 250 Ghana cedis. Okay, so we want to do the same for all of them. So if I drag, so from the concept, if I drag this down, it's supposed to give us 650, 1,250, 350, 750, 1,250, and 150, but we are not getting that. Why is that so? Double click this, you realize that it is picking the empty, it's adding a row by row, because we did the first one, which is we took the column cell B2, and then we took F2, and therefore that gave us what, the 250. So to find out this, there are two places to check. First and foremost, you can check this particular column. You see that when I select the cell here, it's showing me that this is B2 plus F2, which is the F2 is here and the B2 is here. Okay, now the second way to check it is just double click it, and then you realize that the two color indicators will highlight each of the cells that you have worked with. Okay, so the 200 and the 250. So you realize that it is adding it row by row. So this is a row addition. So when you go here, it's adding the empty space under the profits, but that is not what we want. So you remember that this is what we call we have two types of references. We have the absolute reference and we have the relative reference. Okay, so the relative was going to the absolute is going to take line by line. The relative is supposed to take the cell that we want to specify and then the cost price. So this is what we're going to do. So we have done this first one, but we will have to change something. We have to change the F2 from just being F2 to have the dollar sign. So to do that, you press the function key and F4. Okay, the function key and F4. The function key can be found depending on the kind of laptop you have. Usually it is on the left side of your keyboard, and then after or before control. So let me fire up my on-screen keyboard and see if I can demonstrate this. Give me a second. Screen keyboard. Yes. Okay, so I'm launching the screen keyboard, and then I will show you what I'm talking about. So this is my. So to launch the screen keyboard, you can just press your Windows button and then type screen keyboard or on screen keyboard. You see it. So this is what I was talking about. So the function key for me is this. Okay, so this particular one, the Fn at the bottom left here, is the function key. So when you press on the function key, you realize that now the F4 is showing. Okay, so on your keyboard, just with one thumb, use one finger to hold on the Fn key, and then you press your F4. Or if you are using the normal standard keyboard, if you're using a desktop and the keyboard is just detached, the one with the cable, you don't need to use the function key. You can just go straight forward and press on the F4. Then it will bring the dollar sign to hold the F2 value. Okay, so let me close this. Now let's go back in and let's look at it. So to do this, make sure to highlight the F2 before you press your F4. Okay, now when I double click this, you realize that now the 50 is applied. To confirm how it is working, you double click, you realize that now each one is referencing the top. Okay, it's referencing that 50. Now we have our selling price. So let's see, for what is the total quantity we have for this in the shop. Okay, the shop cart, so we went and bought a poke ball at 200, we are selling it at 250. The shop cart, so for example, is maybe we want to say in a box, so a poke ball box, how many do we have inside? Okay, so we are going to give counting numbers to all of them. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 1, 2, and then I'll highlight the 2 and then drag it down for it to follow in counting numbers. So it means the poke ball is 1, the great ball is 2, the ultra ball is 3, the potion, and that's for 2, antidote is 7. Now we're going to be calculating the subtotal now. So the subtotal is summing everything in column. Okay, we are summing the columns. We are summing the total cost price, the selling price, the shop cart. So these columns are what we are going to be dealing with. So what is our cost price? Our cost price is equal to the sum, as we said, always equal to start. So the sum of a number and a number. So we can just we could decide to select the first one and use a comma, select the second one, a comma, and all that, but that is not efficient. So clear it and then just click, hold, highlight all the way down and then hit enter, and it gives us that. So the total sum of our cost price is 4,300 cedis. And now I want to apply the formula that I have applied to the cost price column. Okay, the formula that I have applied to the cost price column, I want to apply that same formula to the selling price column. Okay, so what I do is I will now visit this particular one. You see this, the edge of the box here, that black one, that ticker box at the column, you have to select that, send your cursor there, select it, and then click, hold, drag all the way to the right. So I'll drag it to the shop cart. So now my selling price is what? 4,650. If you want to confirm, just double click, you realize that I picked it like that, and then our total quantity of items we have is what? 28 in all. Okay, so now we want to use or apply an analogy called discount. And I know most people like discount. So discount is usually a percentage. Okay, so you go and buy, say, poke ball, and then I say, okay, if you buy poke ball, 2 of poke balls, I'll give you a discount of, say, 5%. So that is where you go to supermarket and you see that they have this, let's say, a fruit jelly juice box, and then they say previously at, say, 10 cedis, but now at maybe 8 cedis. So they have applied a discount, which now gives you the price at which, the new price at which you are buying it. Okay, so that is what we are going to be doing here. What I'm going to be doing here now is we are not going to apply the discount to each of them, but we are saying that we are going to give you, so we are going to apply a 10% discount to everything. Okay, so when the person comes to the shop and has bought all of this or any of this, the sum total, the amount the person is supposed to pay, we apply a 10% discount on it and say, hey, you're supposed to be paying for this product as 5,000 Ghana cedis, but I have applied a 10% discount on it, so it means that you're not going to be paying at 5,000 Ghana cedis, but you'll be paying way lesser. Okay, so let's do that. So we are applying a 10% discount. Okay, but like I said, discount is always in percentage. So if I say 10, a discount of 10, a discount of 10 will be what in percentage is going to be what? I hope you know. Do you know? If you don't know, let's go. So the discount of 10% would be, let me click it, equal to 10 divided by 100, and that gives us a 0.1. Okay, I want it in decimal, so a discount of 10 is what? 0.1. Okay, so now what we're going to be doing is, let's assume for now somebody has bought all of this. No, let's create a new column. Okay, this is the total quantity we have. This is the total quantity we have in the shop. Okay, so now let's create a new column for somebody who has bought it. So let's say shop cart 2. Okay, now in this shop cart 2, the person walks into our shop and then obviously picks one of this, picks 2 of the ultra balls, picks 1 potion, let's say picks 3 of our super potion, picks 1, and let's say picks 1 from here. Okay, so the person has what? This is the total number of items the person has bought, which is 10. If we want to calculate that, we already have a formula that exists here, so drag that here, and then 10. Okay, now let's calculate, let's create a new column, and now let's calculate the person's total for the products they've bought. So let's call this line total. So how much the person is going to pay for each of the item. So the products, the cost for Pokeball now, our selling price is 250, and the person picked 1. So it's obviously going to be what? Our selling price of the products times the quantity. Okay. So the selling price, then we put the asterisk. Please do not, I hope you remember it. The asterisk represents multiplication. Okay. That's the selling price by the quantity that the person took. Okay. And that will give us 250. And then we apply the same all the way down. So the person picked 2 of the ultra balls, so it is going to be what? 2 times the selling price of 1 of the ultra balls. Okay, all right. And then the sum total is going to be what? Let's just drag this same formula here, and then we know that the person is supposed to be paying 7,400 after buying all of these. Okay, now we said we're going to apply a discount. Okay, we're going to apply a discount, so which means that the person is not going to be paying the 7,400. We are going to reduce how much the person is going to pay, so we apply some sort of discount to it, and the discount we have here is what? 10%, and 10% decimal is what? 0.1. So since we've calculated this already, so let me just put here in percentages, okay, so that we understand. Now we'll only apply it to the person's side. So here, column F is going to be equal to the amount the person is supposed to pay by, which is times this one. Okay, and that is it. So it means that we are taking off 740 Ghana cedis from the 7,400 that the person is paying, and then the person's new total the person will pay now is going to be what? The original amount that we're going to pay minus what we are saying we are giving them as discount. So we are subtracting from what he's supposed to pay, and that will tell us he's now supposed to pay 6,660 Ghana cedis. So I hope you get the concept and you see how we are handling data in Excel. Okay, so as much as we are getting the whole sense of, in a shop the person has come to buy this number of items and this is the calculations we've done, you also need to understand that this is how you can easily go about calculating or performing some basic sales and revenue calculations in Excel, and it allows you to know whether you are making a profit or you're making a loss. Okay, so we've applied discount, and it even advises you to find out whether you are supposed to even apply 10% discount in the first place. You can decide to apply a 2% discount, 3% discount, however you want to go about it, you do that. Okay, so this is the new amount the person is supposed to pay. At this point, we have actually covered exactly what we are supposed to be doing with the data set, taking into consideration the number of things we have learned so far. So we've learned how to use just the manual formulas, which is subtracting, picking two cells and then putting the arithmetic operation in there and subtracting. And then we've also learned how to do the relative absolute referencing, where, let me see, was it this one? Yes, where we were calculating, taking something, using the F4 key to hold down the cell we want to keep referencing, and then applying the formula all the way down. And we also learned how to do what, the line calculations, how to do a multiplication across the line. So we have actually touched on multiplication, addition here. So addition will be where are we? Let me see. Here, yes, we've done addition. So the addition is where we use the sum function in Excel. So please make sure you utilize these things. For the multiplication as well, I think you can use as a product. Yes, so we could have used products, which will allow us to do the selling price, and then you use comma, and then we are multiplying the selling price by this, and then it will give us the exact same thing too. So all the functions we studied earlier, make sure that you go through them and you try. You can increase the spaces on the Excel sheet and do that, and then try and do the discount calculation as well. So you can change this place to 10, 2%, 3%, 50% if you want to, whatever discount it is. But what I want us to do quickly right now is also add a new column. Okay, so what I want us to do is, I want us to tell, it's more like I want my system to tell me that, okay, after this person had bought one of the, say, I have 5 items in the shop, the person has bought all the 5, it should tell me I have nothing left. Okay, it should tell me I have 0. So it's a simple thing to do. All you have to do is, so let's say, let's put that one here, let's insert a space in between the selling price and this, and I'll call it say back office quantity, so QTY. And so what I want to do is that anytime the clients pick something, it will automatically calculate this minus what they've taken and tell me how much is left. And the easiest, and one of the easy way to do is, as you have just seen in my illustration, is to do equal to, this is what you have in the stock, okay, minus what the quantity the person has taken, to give me how much is left, how many of the items are left. So you realize that you can have a very interesting system that tells you, oh, I have only 3 left of this particular product, I have only 4 left of this particular product. We will get there. Okay, we'll get there. We will have a whole interesting form field where the system tells us, okay, you cannot take more than what is in the store. So for example, we have 1 and the person wants to take 2, to tell the person cannot buy 2, it is only 1 that is left. We will get to that particular side. We can do all of that in Excel. So let's apply the same thing here. So originally I had 28, so let me change this thing. Let's just say total. So I refer to T as my total quantity, QTY. Quantity, I always use QTY, and then I'll say A for available quantity, okay, to make this the columns even smaller. So in the next one, we are going to be applying colors to this, and then colors helps indicate or identify or emphasize what is happening on the sheet, or what is happening to your data, and how pleasing it is to, how do you call it, to somebody. So thank you very much if you have stayed with me up to this point in the video. We've done quite a bit of time on this, but I hope you understand. If you don't understand, please share your comments with me in the comment section of the YouTube video, and then You can interact with me via all the available social platforms I have placed in my bio section of the YouTube channel. Once again, thank you for joining me on this particular case study, as we have dived through or summarized all the skill sets we've learned into working on a piece of data, and then in our subsequent ones we apply colors to give it a more pleasing, how do you call it, sense of looking at your data and enjoying what you do, and knowing that you're not just dealing with numbers, but something appealing is in front of you. Thank you very much, and hey, do not forget to join my subscriber list, which is coming out soon. But for now, just make sure that you subscribe to the channel. I'll give you in my next video I'll drop the subscriber list, where if you want to have a one-on-one conversation with me, you can inbox your email or your questions there and I'll pick it up. I want to make myself available to you and answer all of your questions. That being said, thank you very much. Don't forget to like the video, share it with friends and family, and most of all, enjoy learning data analytics. Peace out.